folks, Parkera here, and welcome to the season preview. Before we head into the preview, dits and dods, let's have a look at the official Premiership review. I'm not going to read it all out, you can have a look. The main thing here is Clyde being the biggest overachievers, expected to finish 11th, managing to finish 8th. Even though it was only 3 points above the expectation of 11, it was 3 spots above expectation, so a very good achievement for us. We have now been shown the released fixtures for the Premiership for this season, kicking off away against Motherwell and finishing the season at home against Aberdeen. That's our first 5 fixtures there. Speaking of fixtures, we will have a nosy-rosy. We haven't done the friendlies yet. I haven't set those up. I kind of want to wait until the Bedford Cup as well. Then I can kind of see what days here, where, and everywhere. And plot, and I'll probably do a couple anyway. I kind of use this as a pre-season, to be honest. Never advanced past the first round. But yeah, so we are going to kick off the first game of the season. Will be against Motherwell. We've had a bit of a history against them. I think it'll be a nice little beginning of the season. But what I am looking at doing this season again is probably cutting down the season to 4 or 5 episodes in total, looking at double headering most of those episodes. Let me know down below too if you are interested in certain games to be highlighted, certain teams. Again, obviously, I've mentioned we're going to kick off against Motherwell, finish off against Aberdeen. Then there's a split, obviously. Oh, a bit froggy in the throat. We are going to look at Rangers and we are going to look at Celtic, especially because they're the big boys. But also let me know down below if you have any preferences to some of the other teams that you'd like to have a focus on, maybe. I know the last game of the season, one of the season's episodes against Hearts, Hamilton so far hasn't really rated very well for me in terms of views. So I'll be very reluctant to do Hamilton, even though there was a lot on the line for that game. I probably will tap in the Hamilton game as a double header against Motherwell though, because it's a double header, so it's not really a single game. But we will see what happens. We are looking for a better season this year. However, what is disappointing, lad, is if we go to a pre-season odds, we're expected to finish rock bottom. Thousands of one. Yeah, okay. I have my thoughts on that. So it's going to be, again, important picking up maximum points against Dundee and Motherwell, as well as Hamilton. I think those are the 3 teams we really need to target for maximum points, as well as some of the other teams that may have a slip in form, may struggle. I mean, if we look, Rangers finished way outside the top 5 last season. I think they only qualified for the Cup because of the European spot, because they won they won one of the domestic trophies, I think. I may be wrong. So, I mean, it's Rangers, I guess, their reputation. And they probably made a lot of signings, so activity down there as well. But that is that. Anyway, it's quite interesting to see. We're going to receive 949, so another million, just short of $1 million. Well, not just short. Over the next coming season, it'd be nice if they gave us a lump sum. The season expectations were set by the board, and I accepted the cup competitions, but I changed the Premiership expectations to mid-table, mainly to get a little bit more wage budget. We've put an offer in for a couple of players this off-season, and no problems. Yep, deals have been accepted, but the trouble is when it's come to the contract negotiations, we couldn't even offer anything over £400 for a key player. Finances at the moment, overall balance is only 354. It looks like we are making a loss this month, which is probably doesn't help, but it is what it is. One thing I'm not too happy about is because you may recall there was a takeover from the board, and the dickhead got a loan for doing it. So now we have to pay 1.8 thousand per month to cover the loan. Nice. Thanks. Okay. So coming to the board wise, we got a transfer budget of 43k. You see that? You would have seen we have a bit of a wage budget, so that will increase compared to what we're spending. Big news. I'm not sure if I did touch on it. I probably didn't. We are improving the youth facilities, due to finish early September. So our current youth facilities are adequate. So I think it goes to average or good. We'll have to see. So we'll keep an eye on that anyway and see how we go. But that is how it's looking for the club as a whole. Reputation, I've got a big gripe against reputation. Let me know down below as well. What are your thoughts on FM and the club's or reputation in game? I think it's not fluid enough. I think it's too strict. We've been a 2.5-star reputation or 2.25-star reputation for the last 3 years, pretty much. I think we should be at least 3-star, to be honest. I know we've only just had one season of Premiership, but we spent 4 seasons in the Championship. 3 out of those 4 we made the playoffs, including getting promoted. We survived expectations by 3 places quite really well last season. We've coming through up the ranks. We've won the League 2 and League 1 championships. You know, so they would have got us to probably the 1.5-star, maybe the 2-star. But I believe, in my opinion, it's not fluid enough. I think reputation for the club goes into also has an impact, or the reputation of the league plays into it. I'm hoping we can survive. I'm pretty confident we can survive this season, and I'm hoping our reputation will be boosted up somewhat more to a 3-star. But let me know your thoughts on things like that, reputation. And I'll tell you what's annoying me. It's been annoying me for a while. When I put an ad in the staff, and I want 4 bloody scouts, and I get 1 scout from the paper ad, why do you bloody cancel it? I've got 3 other places I want to have a look for. And you can't then just go straight away and put a new ad out, because it doesn't happen. You've got to wait a few weeks or a few days. No one's going to hear me from Football Manager, but look at something small like that. It's a tiny little detail. Anyway, rambling on. We've made some staff changes, a little bit of staff changes. Jap Stam's left us, but across the board you can see some good there. I terminated Jap Stam's contract to make room for my reserves manager, Hakaviri, to come through as a coach. We are still looking at some more scouts. I think, what are these, blank parts? Looks like the board said, hey, bro, you can do some more recruitment. Let's have a quick nosy and see what that is. Because that wasn't there the other day. Okay, so I'm allowed... Yeah, I know about the reserves. 3 more 18 scouts. Chief Scout. Okay, so they haven't told me. Hey, thanks. Another thing, could you actually, when this board do this changes, FM? Be nice to have a newspaper article. Some sort of something from the board. I oh, hey, bro, yeah, just let you know you can have 3 more scouts now. Oh, cheer. But never mind. It is what it is. It's a little bit of a rant. So I think I've got a scout ad out anyway. We have. All right. So enough jibber jabber. What we are going to do, as I've already mentioned, is confirm coming back for Motherwell and kicking off the season with them, and a double header. So it'll be Motherwell Hamilton. And then I will make a decision as we go through of who we're going to play. Obviously, I've mentioned we're going to play, and we will show the Celtic and Rangers games. Not sure which ones yet, and the Aberdeen games. But let me know down below of any other teams you'd like to focus on, like to have a look at, and we'll happily do that as well. And depending on the cups and how far we get along, I may add them a bit later on, like if we get to quarterfinals or something like that. All right, folks, I think that's all for now. There's nothing more. There is some transfer activity that has happened. And I think what we'll do is, hold on a sec, Joe. What do you know? Yep, let's just go a little bit further. We are going to actually touch on the transfers here. And let you know. Now, Craig Hunter has come under, I've rejected the offers. He's come under interest from Hearts and Rangers. Rangers came with 500,000. With potential to go to 625. Hearts, they came in similar, and I said, okay, give me 800, and they came back and said, yeah, I will make it 1 million extra. Oh, we bought this guy only a season ago for 525. I'm reluctant to get him to leave so far. He's a little bit annoyed because he wanted to go to Rangers, but he hasn't kicked up a stink. We did have a conversation, but it bugged out. for some reason. As well, yeah, and that's what it is. But if we look at our transfer history here now, so you would recall Modeste and McKay were already done and dusted at the end towards the end of last season, and they just came in when the window opened. We have brought in from Wraith Ross Easton, 12 for 12k, a youngster. I am also looking at another player from Wraith. He's one of the players I put an offer out and was accepted, but when it comes to the contract negotiations, it fell flat on its face because I could only offer him £400. So luckily, this Ross Easton's come as a wingback. I'm looking to have he's coming in as a first teamer, but he will be second string to Ralston here, mainly because if you look at Jack Grimmer now, he's starting to drop off at 32 years old. Still got some good positioning and some good stats, really, but his pace is dropping off at 9 now. He's really gonna struggle going forward. He'll be third string. I think his contract runs out at the end of the season, so I'm going to have to and ah about that. But back onto Ross. So this is Ross for you guys and gals. I'm pretty happy with him. 24-year-old, so he's got potential there. Most of his physicals are pretty good, except for strength, jumping reach. I'll look at probably giving him a bit more strength training. Marking of 12, tackling of 12, positioning 11, like again. But good decision making, good concentration as well. These aren't the best, but like I said, it was hard to have a look at anyone who was interested. I'm pretty happy with him as a youngster. He will, like I said, start games. He will start a few games, but he's not going to be the number one. The number one will be Ralston. And this fella is going to come up and play most likely cup games. I may think we can have a good chance of winning. He will probably start in. It's all going to see how he goes in the cup game in the preseason as well. But that's Ross Easton. Now, Shanks and Martin left on freeze in the contract, right? Now, 3 players. Okay, Miles Behrman. I wasn't too fussed about him. I had put him on the transfer market end of last season. He was looking to be 4th choice winger this season. Still not too bad, especially physically. But I just didn't see him fitting in. He wasn't going to get the game time, and he did request to leave. So Motherwell came in for him, and they're going to 60,000, potential of 70 with add-ons. I couldn't turn that down. Motherwell, I was quite surprised because Motherwell are one of the newly promoted teams, so I guess they're looking for strength and depth as well. Now, Lloyd, again, I was going to keep him. We're training him as a central defender. It was just going to be an understudy just for numbers because we did struggle towards the end of the season last year with some injuries. But I also put him out on loan if anyone was interested. Crew came along for a season loan backup, so he might not play very many games. But they're paying us a whole lot of wages, so why not? Now, Andy Irving... Oh, I ummed and ummed about Andy Irving. I had a soft spot for this fella. Really didn't want him to go, but at the same time, the money I think was too good. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, we bought him in for freebie, and we've made 100k on him, 105k. Like I said, I was reluctant to let him go. He did want to go to Motherwell. I don't think he would have kicked up a stink, but I just looked at the squad that we had, and I think he was probably going to get some games as a advanced playmaker. But if you look, he won't show. Oh, does he was going to be 4th, maybe 5th in line here, and I wasn't too sure of how many games he would get. So I made a hard call, and it was because they were going to offer 105,000, potential 110. I don't know what that 110 is for. So we did need a bit of money, so I got him. I let him go. We had a chat before when it was finalised. I said, "Look, mate, thanks a lot." And he said, "Yeah, cheers, bro. Thanks for everything you've done for me. Off we go. Welcome back anytime." So, as most of my former players, I do keep the history and follow them, so I can keep a tab on how they're going. So we spent 76k, but we recouped 165. Yeah, so that is the transfer centre, and of course we could have made a lot more on Hunter, but it just wasn't prepared after a season to let him go, especially to 2 premiership teams. Right, folks, I think that is enough gibber and jabber for the season preview. Yeah. Let's have a look at projection. Yeah, end of this season, we're going to be making, 698k loss. But I think at the, it's just, it is what it is. I'm hoping for a decent run here. We are still in the market for some players. Like I said, we've got a little bit of budget here. We haven't got too much wiggle room. But we'll see how we go. There's a few players off contract at the end of the season who expire. Got some guys on trial to look at. So there's who we got here. So okay, take these 2 off. So there's some players here I've ummed and ahed about. I haven't. It's wait and see how they go for the season before I make a deal with their contracts. Let me know if you have any thoughts. Nathan Sheeran, you look at Sheeran and he looks, yeah, but he's one of those players that gets the job done. Last season, he's been with us a while. Only 19 appearances, but 6.92. He floated in the midfield, the central defence. Joe Hardy, this is basically going to be the season that makes or breaks him. He's, according to the coaches and that, he's at his potential, and that's why I'm after someone who can play striker. I don't think he'll be my number 1. Nidam, again, a player who's still got some potential to improve. Now that Irving's gone, he'll probably get more game time. Be definitely on the subs bench, so that could be a good thing. Jack Grimmer, I'm pretty much already saying, look, he's probably likely to go, especially now he'll be 3rd string. And Carl Madanga, he's 32, so this may be his last season as well. Let me know if you have any thoughts on those guys. Contract signings. Al Bazzuti signed a new contract. He is now here until 2028. So, damn right, bro. He'll be here 10 years in. My intention is I want to have what are they called? A testimonial. And he is deserving to have it. Definitely is. And who else did we renew contract for? Who was expected to go this season? Liam Kelly. He took that deal as well. And I think somebody Finlayson, we signed him on as well for 3 more years. So yeah, that's the deal as it is anyway, folks. In terms of me, myself, and I will go into the spreadsheet now, and I'll show you what we're all about in terms of my stats and see if there's been anything, if any sort of change. Okay, folks, so let's have a look here now at my quick spreadsheet for the profile of moi. So obviously Premier League finishing 8th. Nothing else. We are Continental B, but we are actually studying for A license. Reputation is 2.75, so no change. No change in the attacking. Defensive has gone back up to 12. Nothing changes here. Tactical, technical, no change. 13 for mentality, no change. No changes across here, but we've got more determination about us. Discipline is still 16. Man management is still 13, but we've got 19 for motivation. So in total for our career now, we've played 379 games, 200 wins, 69 draws, good number, 110 losses, but our win percent has gone down to 52. So that is just a little bit there for you, kind of puts it into perspective, I guess. So here you can see it in game as well. My door's open always to the players. I'm happy to talk when the time allows as well. So yeah, that is it. I'm pretty happy. Someone doesn't like me. Worst opinion. Derek McInnes, you are a manager, are you? You're a sacked manager. Who likes us? Barry Robson, Gary Holt, Alan Johnson, Shane Sutton, and Mark Roberts. That's nice. All right, folks. I tell you what, one thing I'm looking to try and get is a bit of a international wiggle jiggle going on into this series as well. So this has been a long episode, but it's not over yet. Before we go, we're just going to touch on the World Cup and go over that and the results for you there. And then we will be, after that's done and dusted, episode finished. The following episode will be the first of the season. All right, we'll see you for the World Cup. And we're back. So what we're going to do is we're just going to finalise here, finish off the season review with the Bedford Cup group as well. So we'll just go into this before we hit the World Cup and just show you that we are, well, I think we've got a real good chance here. We are the only premiership side in the group. Ayr and Queen of South will give a challenge, but I think we can definitely beat our affiliate club, East Kilbride, and I believe we can definitely do the damage against Edinburgh. So it's going to become against these two championship sides here. We always seem to do okay at times, but then we can screw away the games that we don't need to screw away. We haven't done the friendlies yet, but now at least we know the draw, so I'm going to go through, schedule some friendlies between those as well. You may have noticed that we had 4 players on trial. I've offered a contract to 1. We'll see how he goes. I think he'll be all right. It's a 3-year deal. Excuse me. I'll show him after the fact once he's signed on board. So just a little update there for you. Now let's just get stuck into that World of Cups. And we are back for the World Cup. Just to touch over, World Cup has been completed and it was hosted in the USA, Canada, and Mexico. So we have a quick look here of the group stages. We can see Czech Republic and USA qualified from Group A, Ukraine and Ghana qualifying from Group B, France and Chile from Group C, Colombia and Wales qualifying from Group D, Italy and South Korea qualifying from Group E. Group F saw Serbia and Morocco qualify. Group G, Portugal and Mali qualified. Oh, bloody hell, New Zealand made a World Cup but didn't qualify. Group H, Germany qualified and Uruguay qualified. And Group I saw Egypt and Belgium go through. J was Spain and the Ivory Coast. Jeepers, how many groups are there in this now? Norway qualified with Paraguay from Group K. L was Group Croatia and Tunisia qualifying. Brazil and Russia qualifying from Group M. N saw England qualifying with Saudi Arabia. Group O saw Argentina qualify with Ireland. Australia losing there, no games won. And Group P, my God, Poland and China qualifying. Mexico only getting the 1 point. Right, interesting. So in the second round, we saw some games here. So Czech Republic knocking out Ghana, Ukraine knocking out USA 4-3 in extra time. Wales losing 4-1 to France. Colombia beating Chile 1-0 on penalties. Morocco losing 2-0 to Italy. Serbia beating South Korea on penalties. Uruguay 2-1 over Portugal after extra time. Germany beating Mali 2-1. Ivory Coast beating Egypt 2-1. Belgium beating Spain 2-1. Tunisia losing on penalties after a 2-2 draw to Norway. 1-0 win for Croatia over Paraguay. Brazil 3-1 winners over Saudi Arabia. England is coming home. 3-1 winners over Russia. China losing 2-0 to Argentina. And Poland losing 1-0 to Ireland. So out of that group there, we had 3 of the home nations actually qualifying for the second round, and 2 of them now, Ireland and England, go through to the next round, which is good. So the third round sees Colombia, again, penalties, 0-0 draw against Czech Republic. Ukraine beating France 3-3 after the full time, extra time, going through on penalties. Italy 1-0 winners over Germany. Serbia 2-0 over Uruguay. Croatia 3-1 over Ivory Coast. Belgium 3-2 over Norway. Ireland losing 1-0 to Brazil. And England being knocked out by Argentina. Oh, bloody hell. Hand of God, maybe. 2-0 there. In the quarterfinals, we saw Colombia going through against Serbia, Italy beating Ukraine 1-0, Croatia losing 2-0 to Argentina, and Brazil going through 1-0 against Belgium. So, we're going to the quarterfinals, we're going to the semi-finals. It's an all South American semis apart from Italy. Colombia losing 2-0 to Brazil and Argentina losing 3-2 to Italy. Third place playoff, Colombia losing 1-0 to Argentina and Italy 2-0 win over Brazil. So Italy are the World Cup holders, and you've probably known this all along because this has been here. So let's have a look. Some goal scorers are from Spain. 4 goals from Bariki Torre. Okay, interesting there. Don't know if there's any people I recognise. Average assists, Portugal 8.43. Assists, average rating, assists was Dabella from Argentina with 6. Player of the match was Roas from Argentina of 3. Clean sheets, Rulli of Argentina and Solanas from Colombia with the most yellow cards. So Italy win the World Cup for the first time since 2006. So there you go, folks. That's the World Cup winners. And with that, we will now get into the next episode. Going forward will be the season kickoff. So I want to thank you all for joining me. I know it's been a long episode, but it is what it is. And I just had to add the World Cup. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and comment down below. Remember, I've asked you some things there. What are your opinions and some bits and bobs going forward? If you know what I'm talking about, I'm not going to remind you. You've watched some of the video. Hit me down below. All right, folks, I am Parkera. As always, kia kaha.